What's up, y'all? Movies, music, sports, and life. This is Jay Spruill, and this particular video, um, it's very rare that I get into politics. They state that politics and religion are the two things that you're not supposed to discuss or debate because things will go left and you could lose friendships, you could lose relationships with your family debating religion and politics. And you know what my response to that is? Once you're 18 years old, you're grown. And as a grown man, we can discuss whatever we need to discuss, whatever we feel to discuss. The only threshold with that is you don't put your hands on me. If you put your hands on me, I have the right, the God given right, to take you off the planet. You don't get to put your hands on me because you don't agree with my faith, my religion, or my political ideology. And that's where some complications come in with Trump supporters. Because I won't say all of them, but I will say many of them feel as though they have been deputized by this man. That if you disagree with something he says, then I can put hands on you. And having the thought of doing that has resulted in individuals losing their lives. I know of three people whose blood is on Donald Trump's hands from simply you do not agree with what he says. And so, therefore, since you don't agree with what he says, he activates his followers and he riles them up. And that results in people dying. The first person that died was a Capitol police officer on January 6th of last year. Or was it? Yeah, of last year, 2021. Capitol police officer killed by the mob that descended on the Capitol. Then you have a young lady who thought she was tough. She was surrounded by a large contingent of MAGA followers, 50% of which I observed were armed with weapons. And these individuals wanted to get in to the corridor of the Capitol. They told two young security guards verbatim. I saw the footage, so I'm not. This isn't hearsay. I'm not making any of this up. They told the two young guys, "Hey, we don't want to hurt you, but we're going into that Capitol building, into these offices. So the path will be through your ass if you don't let us through." There was a black Secret Serviceman standing there, and he was armed. The two young security guards looked at him, and he nodded. After he nodded, that mob was pushing and pushing until they knocked the door down. When they knocked the door down, the young lady screamed, "Ah!" and charged and bap, 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 bap. He gave her four quick shots. And with those four quick shots, she was out of here. And all this role playing and cosplaying that these Trump followers were doing, then it was shots fired, shots fired. Looking around, confused, pointed the gun at the black Secret Service agent, but they didn't fire. Like that message was clear. Like if you came here to take over the Capitol, you came here to die. And personally, I think a lot more people should have been killed that day. And you and I know that if their ethnicity was different than what it was, they would have been killed in violent and unmerciful fashion. The reason people were killed then on January 6th is because Trump said, I didn't lose the election. They cheated, they stole it. It doesn't matter what the basis of him saying this is. It doesn't matter if there's a lack of evidence. All that has to happen is he has to say it. And because he says it, it is. And people died behind that lie. So now he has another lie. He claims that the federal national security documents he has are not theirs, they're mine. They're mine. Then he says he declassified them. Then he said the FBI planted them. Then he said, just like many of our hard-working Americans, whenever he says hard-working or beautiful, it means white. Just like many of our hard-working Americans, we take work home. And I took work home. Homie, you don't work for the United States of America anymore. Until the Republican Party nominates you as the Republican candidate for 2024, you don't work for America anymore. You lost, you have to go home. The so because of that, now the hypocrites who defame Black Lives Matter and defund the police are now saying defund the FBI. And they are declaring civil war, I suppose, on the FBI. And another man has lost his life. Since Trump got kicked off of Twitter for rhetoric which can be considered dangerous and rhetoric that can start riots, he started his own Twitter knockoff called Truth Social. So all of the people, the MAGA followers that love him so much, they are now on Truth Social instead of Twitter. So one of the individuals, he appears to be a Latino, possibly identifying as white, but clearly look like a Latino radicalized Trump supporter. Once again, I know that there are probably some people who voted for Trump that would never in their lifetime go up to a federal FBI field office in Cincinnati, Ohio with a gun and try to attack anyone in that building. And he got what he was looking for. You know, the kids call it smoke. He got all the smoke he wanted, and he's out of here. He's erased from this planet. And my question, well, I got two questions. Will Trump eulogize this person? Will Trump give this person a second thought? Will Trump give this person a public recognition? Absolutely not. You just died for somebody who could care less about you. And the second question, if these followers of Make America Great Again are declaring civil war because the idol that they worship got audited and subpoenaed and search warranted by the FBI, who is your opponent in this civil war? Donald Trump claimed he was declaring civil war on the Democrats for stealing the election from him, which resulted in fatalities and people actually dying, as I stated too. Now, since he is declaring war, civil war on the FBI, or his followers are, one person has already died. But is it the FBI? Is it Democrats? Or is it black people? That's the elephant in the room that nobody really wants to address. Because black people have been the center of many of his attacks. And he does it in a very sophisticated way. Whenever he is trashing President Obama, he is talking about all of us as black people as a whole. And he just uses Obama as the metaphor for black people. And I know what I'm talking about because he's in a debate with Biden and he's trashing Obama. He trashed Obama while he was president, called him an unfit president, said he wasn't a naturalized citizen of the United States, probably got within his white privilege uppityness to say, well, if that black bastard can be president, then I can be president and I'll be better than him. The anger of there being a black president more than likely is what caused him to run for office. And no one can disprove it to me, but I believe Make America Great Again is a direct response to America having a black president. So in his mind, in his followers' mind, that was our lowest point in this country. What some people would say is the greatest point in our country, they feel that it's the lowest point. And they want things to go back to the good old days when we stayed in our place. As President Trump once said, they used to treat them very, very rough. When he's saying they, he's talking about the police, and them, he's talking about us, black people. He was complaining at one of his rallies about Black Lives Matter, and he said, I just wish I could just punch them right in the face, I swear to God. And then everybody started cheering and laughing because he said he wants to punch a Black Lives Matter protester in the face. And then he basically says they didn't used to be able to do that because they used to treat them very, very rough. So this is a president of the United States saying that they didn't used to be able to do that. Do what? Exercising their right as an American citizen to protest, a constitutional right. So that gets to the core of his being and his thought system. is that he doesn't believe that we are equal to him and his ilk in this country. Therefore, we shouldn't have the right to protest. If you kill them in the street, then they just need to shut up and accept it. You don't have the right to get out here and protest being killed by a police officer because you're not really an American. So, Civil War, if they start talking like that, you can dismiss it all you want to. But you better believe, as long as they believe it and they feel that it's true, it will and can affect you. And you better be ready to defend yourself by any means necessary.